Hello, my name is Keith Douglas from Fresh Group Products. This is going to be a product walkthrough on the Chapman Arena Leveler, which is an MG 250RR as you see it. So this one has got the rear roller on it. You can, depending on your surface, have it without the rear roller, but we can advise you if you know, by conversation, find out about your surface and give you guidance and advice. So first of all, just to tell you, this is it in its transportation mode. For the sake of this video, we've got it hitched up just to one of our dumper muck truck max dumpers with a ball hitch, but you would have it obviously on an ATV, quad bike or utility vehicle typically. Okay, so basically, just to get it on the school, you would have it in this position with the arm down. When the arm is in the up position, that's work position, and you would always have the rear roller in the non-work position above the rear blade. Okay, so if we can imagine now that we've driven on to the school, I'm going to run through the front to the back of the machine and explain to you why we describe this as a professional leveler rather than a lot of levelers on the market that do a lot of dragging and moving a lot of the top surface. The design of this is such that it doesn't do that. Overview comment: the whole machine bar the 13mm spring tines, they're proper Menage tines that we use, is made from 50mm box section, heavy duty box section and fully galvanized finish. And once you've set this machine up once, you never need to set it up again unless you change your setup with your school. It's literally arm in the work position or arm in the transport position as you currently see it. Okay, so I'm going to put it into work position. Now, it's not going to go level because we're on a solid surface, but you would level the main frame. You've got adjustment here on the drawbar, so depending on the height of your ball hitch on your towing vehicle, you may or may not need to adjust that, but you can see here you've got a lot of adjustment. You know, you can even use motor vehicles down to a quad bike is ideal, or utility vehicle in our opinion. So that's it in work position. This is your overall height adjustment for the whole machine. Okay, I'll come to the front bar. So if the camera can come round to what we call a pre-leveling bar, just make sure that my mic hasn't switched itself off. So basically this is on a gas strut. So the idea of the pre-leveling bar, which has a very important function, and it sits in front of two very large tracking wheels, as you'll see. We're the only people to use a large flotation wheel like this, because we want to keep the leveler level as much as possible from the start of the process to the finish of the process. The pre-leveling bar has got 3 individual positions. We send them out to the factory in the most common position, as you can see, but to give you individual adjustment, you have got individual adjustment when you're setting up for the first time. So then going behind the pre-leveling bar, you've got the large tracking wheels, which are obvious to see, and then going behind the large tracking wheels, you then have the Menage Tines. And if the camera can pick up on the back here, you'll see one on each side, one in the middle. You have an adjustment for this whole bar. So again, you've got individual adjustment when you set this leveler up for the first time. The best technical term I can come up for these Menage Tines is they agitate like hell, basically. The idea of an arena leveler is really that the tines only want to go in to the surface 1 to 2 inches and just work that top part of the surface and not be disturbing any further down than that, so that you're not over time moving the membrane. If you've got a surface, most surfaces tend to have a membrane installation stage. So they're doing their job. So we've gone from the front bar to the large tracking wheels to the Menage Tines, and then the rear blade, literally the rear blade wants to do minimal dragging. So when you look at a lot of arena levelers on the market, you'll see an awful lot of the surface being dragged around. Now what that's doing over time is that's bringing the membrane to the surface, and obviously you're going to be adding more to topping up your surface, and it varies from one to another, but at some point you might have to rework your membrane. With this professional leveler that Chapman have designed, that minimalises that situation. So the rear roller is in its non-work position, so I'm going to just remove a D-clip from over here on this side, and once you remove the second D-clip, as we've got here, you want to make sure, just have to give it a bit of a wiggle. I'm just going to put that on the floor for now. This is quite heavy, this is 40 kilos, so when you do bring it down to the floor into work position, do be careful not to trap your toes. So the best way is to get a firm grip of the roller and then just bring it down to the floor. Let it go down to the floor fully. Okay, just so good housekeeping, I do recommend that you put the D-clips back into their normal place when you're not using them. Now the rear roller is an essential if you've got wax or fibre in your surface, but even if you've got silica sand and rubber crumb like cut up tyres, you know, car tyres, that's quite a popular surface, although wax and fibre is becoming more popular. The rear roller does give you a better finish, so that really gives you the front to the back explanation of our leveler. We believe for every feature within our product, the Chapman product is the only one on the market that has that. Oh, the other thing that I nearly forgot, you have got rubber wheels on each side, and again you'll see we've got 3 individual positions. So if it's an indoor school, sometimes you have a tapered board, so you can adjust that accordingly. The whole idea that you don't want the leveler to knock in and damage your perimeter wall. So I'm going to bring this over to that side, but the first job you actually do when you're going to level your school, you'll see this can work on both sides, but I'll demonstrate it on this side with ease of the cameraman. But basically this is a perimeter blade, and the function of the perimeter blade is to drag in all of the surface that's been kicked up where it's been trotting or cantering, the horse has been trotting or cantering, and you bring that in first, and I'll put it into position. So on this side, you'll see it just slides back here, if the camera can pick that up. You line up the hole, drop the pin in, and it's out of shot, but you've got a little linch pin. So that's locked into position now. Now when that's on a spool and you've got it in working position and level, you're now going to go along the edge of the spool. It will be a bit deceiving, the camera may not pick this up, but that lines so that protects and doesn't bash in to the kickboards. So basically that's going to drag in the mounded sort of heaped up part of the spool immediately in front of the tines. So a lot of levelers, and ours did used to have this design, but James Chapman improved this design a couple of years ago, where we used to have a split rear blade, whereas now with this design we've got a fixed rear blade which is 2.3 meters wide, and then it's dragging the materials straight in. They're getting worked through those spring Menage Tines, and then the rear blade is just putting a finish on, and then if it's got a rear roller you're just finishing off the surface. So I'll quickly take it off for you. Put it into its non-work position. If I can get that to level up, that's fine for now. And to put the rear blade in position now for transportation, this job, if depending on your body strength, can be easier with 2 people, but the idea is that you give it a firm lift up and get it over centre so it doesn't come back on yourself. So a lift up and then just a little wiggle, get one D-clip in and then get the other one in at the other end. And that's it. And just to finish off, we're just going to put it into its transport mode, and that's from hooking it up, setting it up, but you only ever set it up once, and that's back to transport mode and off for school. I hope that's been helpful. My name is Keith Douglas from Fresh Group Products. If you've got any questions or interest, we can advise you on the best setup and about our product and obviously your riding school suitability. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you found that video informative. Please subscribe to our channel or share with any friends or colleagues, and we will send future videos out via our channel, and we hope you enjoy them. Thank you.